Andy Hurry, First Division status assured, probably sixth at least in the table. Arguably, you could finish fifth. Does that make this a good season or a disappointing season?
First and foremost, how good does that feel? I mean, the emotion in the changing room, the emotion around the ground, the emotion here right now, everyone can feel it because everyone's so passionate about Somerset County Cricket Club and Somerset being at the top echelon of domestic cricket in this country. So everyone's absolutely stoked about it. Is it a successful season? No. Success for us is winning. But there have been some successes within the season. And, rightfully so. After our start we had earlier on in the season, we faced a number of challenges. And some of the successes have been built up slowly, layer by layer, and those layers have been quite small to start off with. But I think it's fair to say, in recent championship rounds of cricket, from a batting perspective, we've really started now to galvanise a way of playing. And I've been really encouraged by the performances that we've been putting on the board and putting the opposition under pressure. So there's a success. There's some success with some of the younger guys coming through. James Rue he's broke his way into the first team, and that's really exciting for the club moving forward. Casey Aldridge is another one. There's some real exciting young talent, and there's more in the pathway that's going to be competing for places moving forward. So that's really exciting, and that's success as well. The reality is that we've got ourselves in a position where we want to try and get ourselves as high in the table because we knew we couldn't win, but we want to win. And I think moving forward, we want to finish the season strong, take that momentum into the winter, make sure we're rebuilding and put ourselves in a really strong position to compete and win the championship, as well as other competitions in 2023.
The championship hopes vanished really in the first month of the season. What was that down to?
Well, I think if we look back, and hindsight's a great thing, isn't it? We ended up playing the top two teams twice very early on, and I think they showed the gulf in difference there in class. And subsequently, since that, we've made some small incremental steps to get ourselves to a point. Well, actually, it looks quite attractive the way we're playing championship cricket right now. But I think it's fair to say that we came across the best two sides and played them twice each, home and away, very early on, and put us on the back foot.
And it's been a season of transition as well, with James Hildreth retiring, Stephen Davis giving up the gloves to James Rue, and the younger players at last, some people would say, making real progress. Do you think this is a stepping stone to greater things next year?
I think a number of people can take a lot of confidence from the experiences they've gone through. You alluded to it earlier on that at the earlier part of the season it was quite tough. There's a great opportunity to take learning there as well, as when players have been successful and perform really well as well. So there's definitely some foundations there for people to take a lot of confidence moving forward.
Looking ahead to next season, you've signed Tom Kohler-Cadmore and Sean Dixon. What does that mean for your plans for overseas players? Is Peter Siddle going to be coming back?
I think we have to work through and understand what the schedule's going to look like, players' availability. So obviously Sid's availability we know is good, so that's good. But we also need to understand what balance are we going to need from overseas to support the talent we've got in that changing room now. Some teams have already made decisions. Interesting in the fact that they don't even know what the schedule is next year. Interesting that they might not even know what the availability of those players are at key strategic times of the year. So, you know me quite well. I like to think through things. I like to make sure we give ourselves the best possible chance. Sometimes the other counties have some really big name signings, but actually they don't turn out to be great signings, do they? So let's be really thoughtful, let's be really measured and make sure we're making some good decisions based around what our needs are going to be.
But by signing TKC and Sean Dixon, there's going to be a lot of competition for places at the top of the batting order. And isn't there a danger that some of our younger players who've made progress this season will miss out?
First and foremost, I think we need healthy competition for places. I think that's really important. And I think when you've got players that have established themselves through performances, then players that are missing out, they understand what they need to do to try and be ready to then, when they get their opportunity, they can then establish themselves within the team. Yeah, we're going to have some tough decisions next year, but surely that's a really healthy place for Somerset County Cricket Club to be in.
And to finish on a happy, positive note, what's given you the most pleasure this season?
You shaking my hand, eh? What's given me the most pleasure? We're under a lot of pressure, Anthony, and I'm really pleased that people stuck together and they worked through it together. And I can tell by everyone's body language here today and the expressions on their faces how pleased everyone is. You know, we've avoided being relegated. That's not a Somerset statement I want to repeat ever again. But we're getting ourselves in a position where we talked earlier on in the year about let's work hard to get ourselves as high up the table as we possibly can. For me, the highlight of the year is seeing how we've fought through adversity together and we've stuck together, and it's such an important attribute for us to have moving forward.
Fine, thanks very much.